Alrighty guys, no, the title of this video does not deceive you. In this video, I am literally going to teach you seriously how to make your first $30,000 per month with branded dropshipping by using Kirin. And for those of you guys that have no idea what I'm talking about, you probably know the anime show Naruto. And if you don't, I sincerely apologize for the childhood that you may have lived. But if you don't know, Kirin is basically a jutsu, lightning style, that is used by Sasuke Uchiha. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the principles that inform what makes this jutsu the most powerful lightning style jutsu to make your first $30,000 per month with branded dropshipping. And we're going to use this and apply these principles to product research to make finding winning products that you can literally get off the ground and start selling and making hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in profit in literally less than a couple hours. And it only takes a few minutes to find the actual products themselves once you know what to look for. So make sure you stick around until the end of this video because I'm going to walk you through this process step by step so you can literally copy it along and find winning products effortlessly and endlessly, so you will never have to worry about where to find a product, what to look for, how to find them. You will literally solve all of those and answer all of those questions in this video. So make sure you stick around until the end. Now, if you're new to the channel, what's up guys? My name is Anthony. I scaled my first ecom brand to 7 figures in its first year, and I've now generated over 9 figures in advertising revenue, scaling Shopify brands with Facebook ads. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump into the video for today. Now, for those of you that don't know, or you've never seen the show, I'm not going to spoil what scene this actually takes place in because it actually happens in a very pivotal story point that is, honestly, you guys should just watch the show, if anything, up until this point, because it's actually peak television media. And essentially, Kirin is one of the most powerful jutsus in this entire universe. So this is a guy called Sasuke, and he's one of the Uchiha clan, and he basically is a lightning style user, and this is him actually using the jutsu in real time, and that is what it looks like essentially. So what makes Kirin so powerful? So for those of you that don't know, Kirin is basically the most powerful lightning style jutsu and one of the most powerful jutsus ever. And basically, when he's using this, he's going up, again, I don't want to spoil it, but he's going up against one of the most powerful shinobi and ninjas of all time. And essentially, it's at a point in this battle during the show that he's in major need of a breakthrough. He just needs to kill this guy, basically. And so he saves this for the very end of the fight, because this is like his trump card. At this point, he's basically used everything that he knows. He's spit out all the fireballs. He has a sword. He's used it up until this point. It's practically useless against who he's fighting. And so he stands on the very top of this hill and raises his hand up, as you can see in the skiff, and he uses Kirin. And Kirin is essentially the final death blow in this fight, if not for his opponent having this basically even more overpowered jutsu. But it does technically end the fight. It's basically the end, the final note of the battle. And so if we analyze this, and just from a Naruto standpoint, if we analyze what makes Kirin so powerful, it's that Kirin, unlike other jutsus, is not generated purely through the individual's chakra. So it's not born from yourself. In fact, what he's doing is he's actually manipulating existing natural lightning, amplifying it, and then channeling it at his target. So the reason why when Sasuke lifts his hand up in the air, what he's doing is essentially like a lightning rod, channeling the natural lightning and then amplifying it with his own chakra and then focusing it onto his enemy. And this is what makes it the most powerful lightning style jutsu in the entire Naruto verse. And unfortunately, I didn't even realize, I just realized that I completely spoiled the fight. But basically his opponent, Itachi, is like, what the fuck is this? And this dude has access to some of the most powerful jutsus in the entire universe. And even he is like, what the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do against that? So what really makes this jutsu powerful is that he's not generating the power inherently from himself. He's not relying on himself to generate this massive amount of power. In fact, he can't generate the same kind of power that he could if he was to instead channel the existing power that's already, or existing energy that already exists, and then to amplify it through his own chakra. So what he's doing is basically harnessing the power of natural lightning. And that's why this jutsu only works if there are thunderclouds and natural lightning that you can actually draw from. And so what he's doing is channeling the existing lightning and then amplifying it with his own chakra. And because he does that, he makes it a far more potent jutsu. And it also requires less chakra expenditure to use. So imagine you have this ability that is 1,000 times more powerful than anything that you could do. And not only is it more powerful, it actually costs you less effort. It costs you less time, less energy, and money. So why is this important to know? Well, how can we actually apply this to dropshipping? Because what if there was a way that for every dropshipping product, we could select products that had far more potential for sales, that would sell inherently 1,000 times easier than other products, and that would actually require less time, energy, and especially budget and capital to actually get off the ground. And thank you for sitting through this 6-minute exposition, because I'm going to tie all this together because there actually is a way to select products and build a branded dropshipping business that actually employs and uses these principles. And when I was thinking about how I could sum up and make an analogy for my approach to product research and what I believe is the ultimate, most effective, most profitable way to do product research, I thought exactly of this jutsu. So I'm going to get to explaining how this actually applies. And by the way, 6 minutes and 30 minutes into the video, I want you guys, if you made it to this point in the video, to comment a word in the comments below. As you guys know, commenting this word is going to do one of three things. Number one, it's going to prove that your brain is not completely fried from TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and it's not dopamine max, and you actually have a working attention span. Number two, it's going to prove that you're an absolute G and that you are in on a joke that 99% of people will never understand because they do not have a working attention span. And lastly, number three, of course, we're going to pick one lucky person who comments that word to win a free month inside of Guide to Your Ecom, our private course and community. So make sure you comment the special word in the comments below. I just want you to comment the word jutsu. That is it. Comment the word jutsu. And if you want, leave a comment. If you're an actual real one and you've seen Naruto, then maybe comment what your favorite jutsu is in the Naruto verse. For me, personally, it's always got to come down to the fourth Hokage's teleportation jutsu. I forget what it's called. I think it's like Flying Raijin or... Damn, I forgot what his... If anyone knows what that jutsu is, but basically the way the fourth Hokage teleports is the fucking coolest thing to me in that show. So anyways, comment the special word in the comments below, either jutsu or whatever your favorite jutsu if you're a G and you've actually seen the show. And that's going to do all of those three things. Lastly, most importantly, is potentially winning you a free month inside of Guide to Your Ecom. So let's keep going on with the video. Now, where are you going with this, Anthony? You're basically spending 8 minutes talking about Naruto in a dropshipping video. Well, I promise this is going to connect. So most people try building their businesses much like using their own chakra. So most beginners are going to watch a couple videos and they're going to start looking for products. And the first thing that they want to think of is, how do I find the next trending product? In fact, if you watch most product research videos, they're all about catching trends. They're all about using spy tools to figure out what ads are performing most recently so we can catch trends and leverage a trending or viral product to our advantage. Now, this is an approach that you should use if you like losing money because majority of the time, products that have, if you look at like their growth curve, products or ads for products that show a growth curve like this are super misleading because typically what you'll see is dropshippers or other gurus will say, you want to see a high volume of activity or impressions or views or likes, comments, and shares in a short amount of time. So if this is day one and maybe this is day three and this is like impressions, oh my gosh, that's so ugly. Okay, IMP for impressions, right? You want to see a high volume in a low amount of time because that shows that it's trending and it's uplifting. What most people forget though is that this high volume of impressions doesn't necessarily equate to the product actually being successful or selling well. Okay, there are so many ways. Like I could be a complete dumbass and set my campaign to like $500 a day, and I could get a shit ton of impressions in a short amount of time. And a novice dropshipper is going to see that and be like, "Oh, I should sell that product." When in reality, I'm a dumbass and I just launched my campaign at a high budget, and you have no idea of whether or not the campaign is actually working. So that is why if you've ever tried to sell products using this method, they seldom work, because what you're relying on, or the data that you're relying on to make your decision as to whether or not you should sell the product, is entirely flawed, and it's disconnected from the true success of a product. You have no way of connecting this data point here to the actual success of a product, how well it's selling. And so you could save way more time and more money, more importantly, by trying to be more like Sasuke. And so Sasuke knew there was only so much power he could generate on his own. There was only so much power that he could generate from his own chakra. And so his best chance to become more powerful and to defeat Itachi in that battle scene was to channel the existing energy larger than his own. In other words, to leverage pre-existing energy in the universe, or natural energy, and then to harness it, amplify it with his own chakra, and then focus it onto his enemy. That was the way to generate and create the most powerful jutsu in the universe. So how do we actually apply this to dropshipping? The main takeaway of this video is it is much easier to achieve success by channeling existing demand rather than generating it. You never want to be in a situation where you have a product with a very low evidence that it's working and trying to generate demand for it. You always want to be in the position of channeling existing demand rather than generating it. Because if you can do that, then the only thing that you need to figure out is, how do I get people to spend the money with me and not my competitor? Whereas if you're not channeling existing demand, then you're always going to be questioning, rather, do people even want this product? And you have no burden of proof to prove that people actually want the product itself. And so finding the next trending product is like using a jutsu from your own chakra. It's like you could do it, but when there's this inherently easier, more faster, more effective, and more powerful way to do it, why wouldn't you? And it actually takes less effort and less time. So if we go back again, right? This style of product research is more potent, more effective, and it requires less time and energy and effort and money. So it's like, why wouldn't you do it? So finding already selling, quote, saturated products is much like using Kirin, okay? It is by channeling existing demand and amplifying it by selling it with a better offer and new angles that is the fastest path to 30K a month or $1,000 a day with branded dropshipping. That's it. We're channeling existing demand. And then remember, Sasuke is not just calling upon the lightning and then throwing it down. He's calling upon the lightning and then amplifying it with his own chakra. That's why it takes the shape of that monster looking thing. And then he focuses it. So it's not enough to just sell saturated products. Like if you go sell saturated products, like how 99% of people do it, with a shitty offer, with a shitty landing page, with poor creative strategy, then obviously it's not going to work. And that is why you still need to amplify it. You still need to input your own chakra. You still need to sell it with a better offer and new creative angles in order to actually make it successful. But you've already solved one of the most difficult parts in dropshipping or e-commerce in general, which is proving that you have something that people even want to buy. Now we just need to figure out how to get people to buy it with you with the right messaging and the right offer. So let's go ahead and do some live product research together so I can show you how this principle applies in real time and show you how easy it is to find winning products. And I guarantee you, if you watch this video start to finish, you will never have an issue with finding products ever again. So let's go ahead and jump into the spy tool and find some products. Yeah, we are inside a spy tool of choice. Now, this is a very simple process because remember, our main thing here is to find existing demand. So we want to leverage our spy tool to be able to funnel our searches and our search results to indicators of high demand. So what we're going to do, and you can follow along with GetHooked. By the way, if you want access to GetHooked, first link in the description to join God2Ecom. Whatever spy tool of choice you're using, basically just set your performance filters so they are on the highest performing ads. And then all we're going to do is you can either start doing your research right off the rip, just from, the starting page, or you can filter it down into specific pain points. So let me think of a specific pain point or a specific problem in the market that I want to solve. Let's say we want to go after, what's a good one? Let's go after like foot pain. Okay. So as you can see, with us entering in foot pain and having the performance filters set to high, we are going to see the highest performing ads that are serving this particular pain point or problem. Now, the way I like to use GetHooked is to click on the URLs for ads for products that fit like a few list of criteria. In fact, let me pull that up really quick. Alrighty, so we have the criteria here. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but there's really 6 main criteria. Number 1, we want to prove that it's already selling 300K per month. Product should solve a problem. Product should have healthy margins. Product is lightweight and easy to ship. Product is non-seasonal. And then lastly, product has upsell and cross-sell potential. So those are really the 6 main criteria. When you're in a spy tool and doing actual research, really you're just looking for this, and then the other criteria you usually validate. Lightweight and easy to ship is obviously one that you can kind of just see, but healthy margins, evergreen, and upsell potential you usually validate kind of after you've done the initial research. So what we're doing here is looking for products, and we want to click on the URLs for specific products, and then we want to use a tool called SimilarWeb to see essentially and estimate how much revenue a product is doing. So if I click this, I think I've already reached my limit, which is fine because you can just go to the similarweb.com website and you can add in any URL into their website traffic checker. And then from here, we're going to see how many website visits this brand is doing. So it's a very good example. This brand looks like they're killing it on the AdSpy tool, right? If I check their website performance, they only have 30,000 visits per month. Okay? So 30,000 visits per month. If we just estimate that they're converting 3% of those into actual buyers, and we check that their average order value is about $60, right? That they are only doing $54,000 per month. And if you guys remember, right, when Sasuke is summoning Kirin, right, he needs a legitimate like thunderstorm. Like the shit needs to be pouring. It needs to be like fucking inhospitable, if that's even a word. Like, so you need to make sure if you're channeling existing demand that you're really channeling a shit ton of existing demand, because this 54,000, if I take 10% of that business, I'm left with $5,400. If you multiply that by, even if you're operating at 30% profit margins, that's $1,600. You literally might as well, I don't know, go flip Pokemon cards on eBay or something. So that's a good example of a brand that does not have enough existing demand for our jutsu, our Kirin, to work. So what we're going to do is hide this brand, and we're going to type in Pain Relief Australia. Okay. And then we're going to move on to the next product. Okay, looks like Bear Step is another interesting brand. Looks like they're selling barefoot shoes. Okay, why is everyone selling barefoot shoes? Jesus Christ. These guys look like a ripoff of another brand that I know, but it's all good. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to try and validate them. Again, here's a good example. 39,000 sessions. We already know without even doing the calculations, there's not nearly enough revenue, so we just exclude them here. All right. Okay, so it looks like we're getting close to some actual winning products. Hopefully, Saliva. Let's keep going down. Yeah, typically if you see like one brand page selling multiple products, that's a huge, huge red flag that they're probably not doing so well. Happy Feet Forever. These guys look like they're doing better. So let's click on this. Looks like an advertorial. Yep. All right. Plantar Pro insoles. Okay. Let's check these guys out. Bring them over to SimilarWeb. All right. They don't even have fucking traffic, so that's terrible. So we're going to start excluding more and more brands. Happy Feet Forever. Let's get rid of them. The Modern. That looks interesting. Let's click on that. All right. How to relieve diabetic foot pain. Let's go ahead and click here. All right, let's grab this URL, throw this in. Probably not doing, okay. I was about to say, probably not doing so well. All righty, so this 193,000 visits. This is promising. So what we're gonna do now is we'll get rid of these guys. Same with these guys. Same with these guys. Okay, so we see these guys, they're doing one compress. They're selling, looks like, I don't even know what this is. It looks like foot sleeves for relieving, okay, all kinds of foot pain. Okay, so we're going to estimate that their average order value, I'm going to assume it's about $60 because they have a 3-tiered offer. And typically when you run 3 tiers of offers, you're going to end up somewhere on AOV in between for your second highest option, third highest option. So we're going to say realistically, they're at about $60 AOV. So what we're going to do is take their sessions, 193,000. We can actually just round up to 200,000. Okay. 200, is that 20,000 or 200,000? There we go. We multiply that by the average conversion rate of 3%, 6,000. We multiply the 6,000 times the average order value. Okay. And that gives us how much estimated monthly revenue these guys are doing. So 360,000 in monthly revenue. Now, if I just take 10% of that business, okay, just 10%, that's already $36,000 every single month. And that's assuming I only take 10% of their business. Now, what we've essentially done here is we've identified the proper conditions for selling. Or in other words, if we were Sasuke, we have just seen an ample enough amount of clouds in the sky to show that we can now use Kirin. Okay? So in other words, there's sufficient enough demand for us to actually sell a product. Now, 10% of that business is really just the floor. That is just at a bare minimum what you should be doing when you sell this product. But remember, what we're going to do is we're going to amplify that success. We're not just going to channel the existing demand. We're going to amplify it by putting our own spin on things. And how do we do that? We do that by selling it with a better offer, by selling it with new angles, like angles that our competitors are not currently using it, selling it to a different audience, leveraging different desires, leveraging different awareness levels, pretty much all of the different creative and strategies that I teach on this channel, selling it with new landing pages, selling it with funnels instead of Shopify. There's all kinds of different ways to extract more value and to amplify the success that this brand is currently getting. But as a starting base, whenever you are trying to get into branded dropshipping on any new store for the very first time, you are significantly better off channeling existing demand for a product. Because if you do it this way, you will never have to wonder if you're testing a product for the first time, if it's a product issue, if there's something wrong with the product, or if this is not a quote, a winning product. You know it's a winning product because someone is selling over $300,000 per month with this product. And that's assuming no additional revenue from returning customers and LTV, and if they have any upsells on the back end. We're just saying $60 first purchase. So you know there's demand for whatever they're selling. Now we just need to channel it. We just have to, the only issue that we have to fix is how can we get people to spend the money with us instead of these guys? And we do that with a better offer. These guys are selling 2 pairs for $59. Maybe we do buy 2, get 1 free for $59. So you're getting 3 pairs for the same price point. Better value proposition, better offer. And now we're channeling more of that demand and amplifying it to an even further degree with a better offer. Or we have better creative. Or we speak more specifically to very hyper-specific pain points. Like these guys are using very broad, generalized pain points. Maybe we go after a specific pain like neuropathy or osteoarthritis. So there's all kinds of different ways to amplify it. But as a starting base, if you want to be successful in branded dropshipping as quickly as possible, you need to be like Sasuke, okay? You need to start by channeling existing demand and then amplifying it. That is it. You never want to be in a position where you have to generate totally brand new demand. Why? When you could be much more successful, you could have a much stronger chance of success in testing. And it actually requires less time and effort because you're not constantly searching for the next trending thing, or how can I find the next trending product, or using like 50 different spy tools and taking forever to find a product. As you saw, we found a product within 5 minutes that's completely validated, and now all we have to do is build the store and make the creatives and keep testing until we're good. So, guys, that is going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. And if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you made it all the way to the end, make sure you comment the special word in the comments below. I'm not going to reveal it now because plenty of you, I noticed, or not plenty of you guys, but a lot of people will just skip to the end, comment the word, and then click off to another video. So comment the special word in the comments below because that's going to do one of 3 things. Number 1, of course, is going to prove that your attention span is not completely fried. Your brain is not dopamine max, and you actually have the attention span to sit through a 24-minute video that could actually change your life. Number two, it's also, of course, going to prove that you are an absolute G and you are in on a joke that 99% of people will never understand because their attention spans are completely fried and they're a complete lost cause. And lastly, number three, if you comment that word, we're going to pick one lucky person to win a free month subscription into our private course and community, God Tier Ecom. Now, if you're curious as to why that would even be an incentive, because the first two reasons are already good enough, but if you're curious as to why you should even care about the third reason of commenting that word, then I want to show you very quickly inside of God Tier Ecom and basically show you and pull back the curtain with full transparency about what you get access to when you join. So when you press join, you're going to get access to essentially three things: the community, the classroom, and then the calendar. So the community here, as you see on screen, is essentially a public discussion forum. It's kind of like a Discord channel where you can connect with all of the other students and members, including myself, sharing what's working for you, sharing your wins. As you can see, we've got Enos here who just recently scaled to his first $10,000 a day and then also dropped a massive value bomb that I learned a shit ton from and I was able to implement into my business as well. So it's really just a hub for amassing value and networking with other like-minded, hustling, and grinding entrepreneurs who are on the same journey as you. And honestly, this is by far the most valuable aspect of God Tier Ecom. And I used to say it was the live calls, but it is the community aspect by far. And I have learned so much from just this community alone. Secondly, you will also get access to the classroom, which contains the full branded dropshipping masterclass that shows you step by step how to do everything that you learned in this video and more, including finding products, building the Shopify store, literally from the sign up page all the way to the fully live store, which you can actually click on to this day, how to write advertorials, how to use Funnelish, how to make creatives. We go through systematic creative testing, and then of course, how to test and scale with Facebook ads. In addition to that, in the classroom section, there's a whole bunch of free stuff. So if you see these spy tools, you actually get them for free when you join. So if you're thinking about joining them separately, you might as well join God Tier Ecom, get access to the spy tools, and now you'll have access to the coaching, the calls, the community, and the class, and the spy tools. So it's literally a no-brainer at that point. In addition to that, in the classroom section, there's a bunch of other bonuses like live recording calls, and you can even unlock one-on-one coaching calls with myself. And then lastly, every single week, multiple times per week, we have hour to 2 hour long Q&A calls where you can literally get live personalized coaching from me. Ask me questions about your store, ask me questions about your products, get my thoughts and opinions on your creative strategy, your stores, your ad accounts, whatever. And it is literally like getting one-on-one coaching from me every single week, multiple times per week, to help you unlock the next level of scale and success in your business. So if you want access to the community, if you want access to the classroom, which includes the masterclass, almost $6,000 a year in spy tool subscriptions, premium themes, bonuses, live recordings, coaching calls, and even multiple weekly Q&A calls, then click the first link in the description to join God Tier Ecom. I do want to announce that the price is going to go up at the end of this month. So if you join today, you will be able to lock in that price that you see on screen right now, and you will never have to pay the upgraded price. On top of that, we're doing something really special, which we're actually going to extend for one more week because we actually legitimately had real people reach out to see if we could extend it. But right now we're doing 60% off a full yearly subscription to God Tier Ecom. So if you join for a year, you will get access to not only a instant free unlock one-on-one coaching call with me, but you'll also get 60% off. And we will never, ever do that again because so many people have taken it, because obviously 60% off is massive. So we're gonna extend that out for another week, but right now you can get 60% off a year. On top of all of this, there is a 7-day money back guarantee because I believe so strongly in the value of this community, the value of the network, the value of the classroom, the value of the coaching, that you can literally join, test it out for 1 week. And if for whatever reason you hate it and you are not getting any value out of it, or for whatever, if you just don't like it for any reason, you can get your money back, no questions asked. So there's literally no risk in trying it out. So again, if you want to get access to the community, the classroom, all the bonuses, the coaching, personalized coaching from myself, then click the first link in the description to join God Tier Ecom. Otherwise, guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Hope you have a great weekend. And if you haven't watched Naruto, what the fuck are you doing? Get on that shit. Get on. Don't watch too much. Don't go overboard. You know, a couple episodes a day. Don't dopamine max. But if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's an absolutely fucking incredible show. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.